I'm back. Well, okay, let's be honest. I never really left because I still do the live streams pretty much twice a week. But I haven't made a video in a long time and I feel like you guys deserve a video. So here I am ranking every Tottenham player so far this season. It's obviously a classic tier list that we've done previously a couple of times, but we've got a few new additions to the squad, especially this guy. So we're going to be ranking them along with the regulars in the team to see how they've done so far this season, and then we'll come back to this video in a few months' time to see if anything has changed. Before we get into the video, I've got to say that 56% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. I've been blessed that we managed to reach 63,000 subscribers thanks to the loving support of the streams, but we want to make a big push for 100k by the end of the season. So if you could do me a massive favor, if you're watching this and you're new, please make sure to press that red button, especially if you're a Spurs fan. You don't want to see red around here, so smash that red button, turn it grey, and let's see if we can get to 75,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Now let's get on into the tier list. Let's begin. We've gone from elite, class, good, average, poor, non-existent, and then just a needs more games. Needs more games isn't actually the bottom tier. It's not like the lowest of the low. It's just there for players that we might not have seen enough of. But we do begin with this tier list with Danny Rose. Now this is going straight into non-existent because we quite literally have not seen this guy. I don't know where he is. He doesn't even have a squad number. As harsh as it is to start this way, he goes into non-existent. Look, he's not even wearing the new kit in the picture compared to the other players. That's how bad it is. All right, next up we have our first newbie, our first new summer sign-in, Joe Rhoden, who quite frankly we just haven't seen anything of, right? He's accumulated at best 2 minutes of football at the end of the Burnley game. Into the needs more games, we'll wait and see what he can do. Oh man, this tier list is pretty harsh to start off with because our next player is Jedson Fernandez. Another one that I don't know where he is. He can't seem to make any of the squads, so he's got to go next to Danny in non-existent. All right, next up is the skipper, Hugo Laurice. I don't think I've seen Hugo Laurice put a foot wrong this season so far. Yes, we've conceded goals, but pretty much every single one of them was because of a defensive error from the centre-backs or full-backs. I can't fault him, really. He's done his job very well so far. You know what? I'm going to put him in good. He's teetering on good and class. I just don't think he quite can be in the class just yet because, we haven't got many clean sheets and he hasn't necessarily done anything spectacular. Like, he hasn't saved us in games, but he's also definitely not been bad and is definitely better than average. All right, next up, Steven Bergvine. Stevie Wonder, as expressions would say. Oh, this guy, man, I loved him when we signed him. He's obviously scored against both Manchesters, knows how to score against Manchester, but we're taking this season and the start of this season and something just quite hasn't clicked at the moment. The last game he played was when he started in the Europa League, I think, with Delhi. Both of them pretty much had stinkers, right? They were misplacing passes everywhere. So for me, he hasn't done anything so far this season to warrant being any better than the poor category, but I do like him. I think he's got a lot of potential, but I have to be as strict as possible on how this season has gone so far, and him in particular, I think poor is probably the best we can do. I'm rooting for you though, Stevie. Please prove me wrong and get up into that class category. Right, and before we carry on this tier list, we have a quick word from our sponsor. This video is supported by my favorite VPN, and that is CyberGhost VPN. The one I trust with hiding my IP address, encrypting my internet connection, and turning me into a ghost online. Obviously, as you guys know, I love watching football, but in the past, it's sometimes been a hassle trying to find the right broadcaster for every game that I want to watch, especially if you remember the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Obviously, they're not broadcasted in the UK. If you download CyberGhost VPN, you unblock over 35 streaming platforms, just like NBC Sports in America, so you will never miss a game of football. I watch most of my TV on my Amazon Fire Stick. Well, the good thing for me is that CyberGhost VPN is the most trusted VPN to use with the Fire Stick. But they have a proven track record of keeping no logs, and over 36 million people worldwide trust them enough to protect their digital privacy. Their networks have you covered in thousands of different servers across 90 countries worldwide. It's so easy to use on the Fire Stick, Windows, iOS, and Android TV. And honestly, the benefits do not stop there. One CyberGhost VPN subscription can protect up to 7 devices at one time. So if you want to reap all these benefits and you want to take advantage of the fact that you can get a 77% discount and 6 months free, then please make sure to use my link in the description below, because you will only be able to get the offer using my link. If you don't like it for whatever reason, they have a 45-day money-back guarantee. Click the link in the description, share it with your friends and family so they can reap the benefits as well, and let's get back into the tier list. All right, next up, centre-back, Sanchez. Sanchez is so hit and miss, man. So hit and miss. There are games where I think he's absolutely different gravy, and then obviously other people are like, no, he's useless, liability, which I do get that. Tackles, flying here and there. Is prone to a mistake. We haven't got that many clean sheets, and I don't think he's been spectacular out of the defenders. In all honesty, I'm gonna have to put him poor. I don't know, it's between poor and average. Yeah, for some reason, just the way the players are in this tier list is starting off pretty poorly, because the next one is Dele Alli, a player that I've loved, is a phenomenal talent, but this season cannot seem to get a game. So now I've got to put him in non-existent as well. He just can't seem to, he's hardly been in the squad. Another one in non-existent, man. This is horrible to look at. Why have we got like 5 out of the first 7 players in the bottom? But I'm sure it'll get better as the players come in the tier list. Next up, Benjamin Davies. I don't know if it's actually Benjamin, but Ben Davies. For me, average. Ben Davies for me is one of those players that you're never going to say he's the man of the match, outstanding, but also really, apart from that one mistake in the Europa League, you're not really going to say that he was horrendous. Average, probably the best place to put him. Next up, a man like Eric Dyer. For me, I've got to be brutal in this. I think he has had a poor start to the season along with Sanchez. I've got to give him fair credit though. There are a couple of games he does really well, especially one of our more recent games like West Brom away. I actually think he had a really solid game that game, so it looks like he's on the up. But if I'm judging off of the first games, a lot of the mistakes that have led to goals have come through Dyer. So sorry boss, poor it is. Oh man, could you imagine if footballers did a YouTuber's tier list? I'll be in the mud after this. Next up is Lucas Mora, player that has given us probably one of the best memories ever as a Spurs fan. Thank you, Lucas. But if we're talking about this season so far, I don't think he's played poorly in any of them. I also don't think he's actually been outstanding yet. He scored a goal in the Europa League thanks to an assist from Carlos Vinicius. For me, so far this season, I'd say it's average. It's between average and good. I just don't think he's had many outstanding moments quite yet, so average for now. Next up, Toby Alderweireld. I think definitely by far is probably the best centre-back we have right now without knowing what Rhoden can do. So I'm going to stick him in good alongside Hugo Laurice. Another goalkeeper, Joe Hart. Obviously, he's played pretty much all of the Europa League games bar one, and I do kind of feel sorry for him because every single goal he's conceded has been like an absolute wonder strike. I think he's done pretty well. He's definitely a commanding voice in the team, but we haven't really been tested massively in the Europa League. The game we lost, he wasn't in goal. I'm going to say average because we've had good results from him in the games, but he hasn't really had to do much to prove his quality just yet. Next up, Eric Lamela. Now, this is the one where my dad, I know, would stick in the stinker straight away because if you watch the streams, he is not a big fan of Lamela, and I get frustrated as well. But what I do have to say is Lamela's work rate has been phenomenal for Spurs, and it's exactly what Mourinho wants in a player. Obviously not really getting goals or assists, is injured now, so it's going to hinder him a bit. I think the work rate phenomenal, but if we're talking about all round, I've just got to say average. There just hasn't been end product with Lamela. That's the problem. Next up, youngster Jack Clark. Now for me, I'm going to put him into needs more games. Obviously, he has barely made the squad. He is still very young. We don't really know anything about him apart from some of like the 5 minutes he was on in the preliminary Europa League games. So just needs more games for now. We'll find out more about him in the future. Next up, one of our right backs, Serge Aurier. Now, what I will say for this season is us bringing in Doherty has definitely raised Aurier's level up. However, what I will say is there have been some major mistakes, especially in that 3-3 game against West Ham. I'm going to put him in average. He's definitely done better than he used to. Still prone to a few mistakes. Right, next up, Attanganga. Sadly been injured, so quickly needs more games. I think he's back from injury now, so we'll see more from him going forward, hopefully, as he comes back. And maybe could challenge the right back / centre back positions. We'll find out soon. Next one is going to be a tough one. It's Giola Celso. Probably one of our best players for for the whole of last season. Unfortunately, he's had a couple of injuries at the start of this season and hasn't really been able to, well, I don't think he has started for the team, except for in the Europa League. When he does play, we do look a lot better creatively going forward. A very good attacking midfielder, but has had very limited amount of games because of his injuries. I can't really judge him right now. I'm going to stick him in the needs more games. We'll come back to him once he's had more games in the next episode. Harry Winks. Love him. Spurs through and through. But if I'm basing it off of the performances, more often than not, I'm finding that fans are a bit frustrated with Winks' performances. Pains me to do this because I do love the guy, but I might have to stick him in poor. This has been absolutely brutal so far. No one in elite or class. This makes it look like we're having an absolute stinker of the season. Yeah, we're finishing second. I promise there's a reason to all of these. One that we can finally put in a higher category, and that is Region, or Reguilon. Still not sure how to pronounce it. But for me, what a signing. And the assist for Bale's goal with his weak foot. Not only that, his sheer pace when he came back and blocked so many passes. All right, he was at fault for the Chelsea goal in the Carabao Cup, but then won balls back and made up for it after that. We ended up beating them. So for me, absolute class. What a baller Region is. Matthew Doherty, or just Matt Doherty, another right back, the challenger to Serge Aurier. For me, I think he was a phenomenal player for Wolves, but so far this season, he hasn't really delivered to what we expected. Now, that's mainly because he is having to switch from a right wing back to right back, which does actually make a big difference because at Wolves, he was pretty much playing right wing. I would say average, got a great assist for Kane's winner against West Brom, but I think him and Aurier are pretty much on the same level right now. I think Doherty's just the safer option. Gazzaniga, since Hart's come in, absolutely disappeared off the face of the earth. I mean, he's not in the Europa League squad, and Austin seems to get ahead of him in most of the squads. So for me, that's another non-existent. Musa Sissoko. I don't think he's quite been outstanding yet, but his strength is definitely very much needed in our squad. I guess average as well. Oh, this is a bit skewed. I might have to shift a couple of people up. I might have to, because there should be more people in good than this. Alright, screw it. There's not enough people in good. This feels a bit weird. So you know what? I'm going to move Lucas and Lamela up. I think both of their work rates are really good and fit into a Mourinho system really well. I think I was probably just being a little bit too harsh on them. That looks about right, does it? Let me know. Tongi, Undombola. I think it's been brilliant. His work rate has increased massively this season. I don't know what it is about him. He just has the ball glued to his feet. You see the way he just glides through players effortlessly. For me, I think has been a very, very good player for us this season and is keeping Gio out of the starting 11. I've been very impressed with him. Still prone to misplace a couple of passes, so he's not quite the top category, but I'm going to put him in class because I've been very, very impressed with him so far this season. Carlos Vinicius. Right, another player that probably just needs a bit more game time. He's only just come on for his first Premier League game, so he'll go in the needs more games for now, and then we'll see what he's like towards the end of the season. This has got to be the first one in the top category. What a signing he is, by the way. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Fantastic for us. I've got to stick him in elite. He has made our central midfielders look so much more solid from his break-up play and is definitely one of the most underrated players in the Prem right now. And the fact we only got him for net 3 million is phenomenal. So for me, Højbjerg's been fantastic and easily our third best player this season so far. So for me, he goes into elite. Oh, now we're towards the end. We're getting fun. We're getting fun because we have Hyun Min Son. You know what, mate? Straight up into elite. What a guy. The amount of goals he's already got this season, the blinding pace, he has been phenomenal alongside Harry Kane. So, Sonny boy, you go up into elite. I know I got a lot of backlash from what I did before. I think it was in my first one that got over 100k views. I'm happy to stick him in elite now because he has started this season off fantastically. Now we have the man that's on the back of my shirt. Gareth Bale. How amazing does it look to see him in a Spurs shirt once again? He has got his first goal again for Spurs, but what I will have to say is it's been a very, very slow process. He's obviously coming back from injuries and being out for a long time playing football because Zidane wouldn't choose him at Real Madrid. And if I was being truthful, I'd say his performances have just been extremely average so far, nothing special. I want to stick him into needs more games. He's only just made his first start in the Premier League, even though he started a fair bit in the Europa League, but he's only really getting 60 minutes a piece at most games, so I don't really want to categorize his performances just yet because he's still obviously so injured. So I'm going to stick him in the needs more games as well alongside Vinicius, and I'm sure both of those two will be much, much higher come the next time I do this video. Now, finally, the main man, Harry Kane, Golden Boot winner, assist, boot, no, what did they even get? Assist, boot, winner, no, whatever. Top assister of the league, Kane De Bruyne. What a start to the season. He's dropping deeper now, not just being the number 9. He's being everything. He's a centre-back, centre-mid, striker. He is everywhere. Top assists in the league from the striker. Still banging in goals, left, right, and centre. My guy has been absolutely outstanding and deserves to be in that top spot along with Sonny and Højbjerg. For me, those 3 have been fantastic so far this season. Absolutely fantastic. And there you have it. This is my final tier list for all the Spurs players so far this season. Obviously, it had to be a bit harsh for a few of them, but we are only 8 games in. That's why you're seeing about 6 of the players in the needs more games. I'm hoping all 6 of them can be a lot higher up in the ranking once they kind of find their feet a bit more and get more minutes under their belt. And then we can do a proper tier for them. But guys, I hope you enjoyed these videos coming back. Let me know if you agree with my decisions I made today, or if not, please just leave suggestions in the comment section below. I look forward to doing this again and hoping to put all of these players in elite once we win the Premier League title. But anyway, enough of the chitter chat. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and I shall see you guys in the next upload.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know